Want to know how to approach women without being a creeper? Stay tuned because we're going to talk about all that and more. Hi guys, it's Emily, co-founder and head coach at emlovz.com, and in 2012 I went on a 100-date experiment. And since then I've been helping my clients find love fast with my coaching and matchmaking programs. And a lot of the time my clients ask me, how do I make an in-person approach without being a creeper? Well, that is what we're going to talk about today, so stay tuned. You can use a situational opener, so you're asking her a question related to the situation at hand. Could be, what are you drinking? Have you been here before? Do you know where the bathroom is? Anything like that is fine. Make it easy, that way you're present in the moment, you're looking at the situation, and you're coming up with a question based on the situation at hand. Other examples, if you're at a festival, you can ask her what she thinks about the music. If you're on a college campus, you can ask her, hey, where's the library at? Are you a student here? Cool. What are you studying? Me too, I'm studying this. Why don't we grab a cup of coffee? Based on the situation. So simplistically, all you're doing is asking a question that's related to the situation at hand. So if you ask for directions, let's say you're at a bar and you say, hey, do you know where the bathroom is? Then you would just keep asking questions like, oh, cool, you must be a regular here. What's the best night to come? Are you and your friends here celebrating something? Yada, yada, yada. You can also use an opinion question. What's the best drink here? Do you like that drink? How do you feel about the music? Blah, 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 blah. Are you liking the music? It's kind of like a semi-compliment when you ask someone for their opinion, because that means their opinion matters. And so that's a good way to compliment without complimenting, because I don't recommend complimenting a woman on her looks. That's going to be creepy AF. Don't do it. Don't compliment her on her looks, because every other guy's doing that same thing and you're basically saying, I got nothing else. You can also just use a direct opener. Being direct is like the most sexy thing you can do. Hi, my name's Bob. What's yours? Awesome. Well, I'd kick myself if I didn't come talk to you. I'd love to take you on a date. What's your number? Or what are you doing right now? You want to grab coffee with me? Being direct is so great because we don't want to read your mind, and we can feel your vibes. If you're like wanting one thing but saying something else, that's going to make you seem super creepy. So honestly, just going up to her and using a direct approach is a great way to go. If you want an example of this, watch the beginning of the movie The Notebook. He goes straight up and says, I want to take you on a date. And she says no, and then he's persistent, and it's very cute. So direct openers, I think, are the number one way to go. It requires the least amount of work and effort. It's very honest and authentic. And then just be prepared if she says no to overcome her objections, because that's just what we do as women. We like to make it difficult because we want the guy who's going to work the hardest. So what makes an approach creepy? First thing you should know is women are intuitive creatures. We feel your vibes. So if your vibes are creepy, then we're going to feel like you're creepy. If you think you're creepy, you're being creepy. So you have to stop thinking that you're being creepy. You can be awkward. Awkward is okay. And to call it out is okay. To say, hey, I'm Bob. I knew I would be mad at myself if I didn't come talk to you, but I'm super shy, so be nice. That's so much cuter than being like, hey, how do you feel about the weather? Hey, what's going on there? Oh, I like your dog. No, dude, just use a direct opener. Now we know that you're being authentic, you're speaking from the heart, and you're not BSing us, because we can feel your vibe, man. I got creeped out at the beach recently, and I think that had a lot to do with age and appearance. And so this guy, I think he might have had some mental disorder, to be honest. But he approached me. He was not direct in his intention. He came and he sat down on the beach when no one was around, which made me nervous because no one was around. And he seemed interested in my dog, but I could feel that he wasn't. We can feel things. We're very intuitive creatures. So I could tell he wasn't being genuine. And he also was much too old for me. There's no way that I would, if I was single, I wouldn't be interested because he was just too old. I mean, I don't mean that in a way to make someone feel uncomfortable, but if somebody is significantly younger than you, beyond 10 years, it is creepy to make an approach. That's creepy. Unless you look way younger, which usually people who say they look younger, they don't look younger. They look their age. I look my age. I think I look my age, and I'm cool with that. You got to know your audience, and I wouldn't approach people who are beyond 10 years younger that you can tell are way younger. If she looks like your daughter, maybe you shouldn't approach her. Just an idea. I also, like, you also kind of got to know what you're working with. I don't want to say that you can't approach if you, like, you know, if she's way hotter than you. I don't want to say that. It's really about your vibe. Like, if you come in with confidence and you know who you are, we're going to feel that. But if you come in, like, nervous and shy and, like, awkward and you don't address it, you're just being indirect, we can feel it. We can feel if you have bad intentions, and we can feel if you're creepy. So, you know, I guess, like, the moral of the story is be direct, be honest, be genuine, don't be creepy. Don't be creepy, like, don't just linger around and stare at her. Try and make an approach within 3 seconds of seeing her. Be direct in your approach. If you feel weird, then she's going to feel weird. So the best thing you can do is, if you feel weird, call it out and just say, hey, I'm super shy, but I'm working on getting more confident. And I knew that I would kick myself if I didn't come talk to you. I'm Bob. What's your name? Boom. Easy breezy. You're being totally authentic and genuine, and you're not being creepy because you're telling her right there, there's the information. Not communicating intent is a big problem. That makes you seem super creepy because we want to know what you want. We know you're talking to us for a reason, especially if we look really cute that day. It's like, obviously, we know why you're talking to us. So just be honest and say what you want. It's really good to practice communicating your wants and your intentions so that people don't have to wonder what the F you're doing. You know what I mean? Another time I remember being approached when it felt really weird. I was walking down the street and somebody started a conversation with me walking down the street, and we talked a little bit. He didn't ask for my number or anything. And then he went about his day. And then I am randomly in Trader Joe's a couple of days later, and dude sees me and comes talks to me, and at first doesn't tell me how he knows me, but then he's like, oh, remember we talked on the street or whatever? And then I'm like, okay, dude is stalking me. I'm totally creeped out. That was super creepy. Like, if something like that happens, you got to be like, hey, didn't we talk on the street the other day? Whoa, serendipity. You must be following me. I would do something like that instead of like, oh, hi, how are you? How's it going? What are you doing here? I was like, do I know you? Because I can't remember you because I met you randomly on the street for 2 seconds, right? And then I remember another thing that was creepy about that conversation was that he ended up talking to me about nothing for like 5 minutes. Dude, if I don't know you, I don't really want to shoot the shit with you. Like, I don't know who wants to do that. Who wants to have that conversation? Just be direct. Honestly, the moral of the story, to not be creepy, be direct. It's much better to face the fear of rejection and to have objection handling lines than it is to beat around the bush and be like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And look, I get it. I've been there. I'll tell you a story. When I was younger and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career, I thought I wanted to go into medical sales, and I just totally destroyed the interview, not in a good way. Didn't get the interview, but like a year later, I stayed in contact with like the guy who was interviewing me. And instead of being direct and reaching out and saying, hey, I'd love to know if there's any job openings because I am still interested and I think I've got more skills, I beat around the bush and I said something like, hey, it was good to get to know you, and I'd love to stay in touch. That was not my intention. I was being totally indirect. What a creep, man. He probably blocked me and like creepy chick. You're never working for me. I get it because I was totally indirect in my intentions and I was beating around the bush. Dude, just say what you want. Go for it. If she says no, you're not gonna die. The skin will not melt off of your body. And I know it's fucking scary, but you know what you do? You get a dog and then they come to you. I don't know, man. I'm just kidding. Just be direct. Practice being direct. Practice getting rejected. Watch Jia Zhang's 100 Days of Rejection. It is marvelous. It's a masterpiece. And that can really inspire you to go out and do things that you're afraid to do. And whoo! What an adrenaline rush that is. It's the best adrenaline rush you can get, is doing scary things that freak you out. It's also really important that you're dressed well. How you're dressed when she doesn't know you at all is going to be so important in the approach, because it's going to tell her, it's basically going to communicate to her about who you are. So the way we learn, we have these schemas that categorize life into things that we can understand. If you're dressed nicely, you're going to get categorized into the schema of working professional that's probably not a killer. If you're dressed poorly, you're going to get categorized into potential killer, stay away, be safe, call for help. Like, that's the category you're going to get into. So when you're making approaches, it's very, very important to be dressed well, to communicate that you are a working professional who is probably not a killer, That's gonna help you a lot. Hope this video was helpful. If you like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comments below, and follow us on social media. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.